Certainly, the Mufti of Jerusalem during the war actually lived in Berlin, and he told Himmler about how the Turks killed Armenians in gas chambers, and the gas chambers that were constructed for the Jews were constructed at his urging and originally with his plans in mind. And so he also was responsible for the murder of many hundred thousands of Jews who the Germans were originally going to exile into Palestine, as a matter of fact. And instead, the Mufti of Jerusalem convinced them to kill them instead. And the Nazis were, to a tremendous degree, a great inspiration for and were inspired by, in turn, the Mufti of Jerusalem, who actually raised an SS division of Muslims in Eastern Europe. And so there's a very great convergence between Nazi anti-Semitism and Islamic anti-Semitism.
Okay. Muslim Brotherhood right here in the United States have a good relationship between senators, Congress, even to the House of Obama. Although they are very dangerous, why the government is still keeping them doing that? And I heard that the government supporting them and give them money.
Well, here again, I believe it's because the United States government doesn't understand the real nature of the Brotherhood or the goals of the Brotherhood. And so they assume that because the Brotherhood is not actively blowing things up in the West, although the Hamas group is the Muslim Brotherhood in Palestine, and they're certainly a very violent group. But because they're not violent in the West, they think that they're moderates and they can deal with them. And this is very naive, but it's on that basis that they're proceeding.
What's your comment about the $300,000 that Obama donated to a care organization, not to a church or to poor people anywhere in the world?
Well, this is yet more of the same, that the Obama administration is determined to show a benign and positive face to the Islamic world, and to convince the Islamic world that the United States is its friend, and to give various financial gifts, financial incentives to individuals and to groups, because they think that poverty causes jihad violence. And so this is just another example of that, but they would never dream of giving it to other faith groups, precisely because those faith groups are not being violent. And so it's actually, in a certain paradoxical sense, the Muslims in this case are being rewarded for being violent.
Mr. Spencer, we have a separation between the state and religion. And this is our good foundation right here in the modern ages. But we see this separation is just between the church and the state, not but the state and Islam. Because we heard that there is a mosque in Pentagon and there is another mosque or a place for the people to pray in the White House. That's one thing. The other thing, people like in Jersey City, they ask for a special time during lunch to pray in schools. How far? What kind of separation between the state and the religion here? If the state is the separation between the state and religion is just for the Christianity, not for Muslim and Islam, and why?
Well, these things come out of the same imperative to try to please Muslims and make them happy so that they won't be wanting to wage jihad. That's the initial idea. But you're right, that this is leading to actions that are in contradiction to American principles about the separation of religion and state. And so there has been the introduction in various places of Islamic prayer in the public schools, and public money used for Islamic footpaths in airports and various other public institutions. And this is completely at variance with American principles and the non-establishment of religion. But it is all coming out of the same idea that we have some kind of an obligation doing so will blunt the force of the jihad against us.
We heard that the President Obama, when he came to the White House, he fired or let some people resign to replace them with Muslim people. Why? Is this racism, or is this wisdom, or why did he do that?
I'm sorry, I can't catch what was it that he did?
He let some people in the White House resigned, or he fired them to replace them with Muslim people.
Oh yeah, you mean his ambassador for to the Organization of the Islamic Conference and his Office of Muslim Outreach. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Yes. Well, here again, he's very interested in making a special outreach to the Islamic world. It's all the same thing. He believes that all the conflicts between the West and the Islamic world are the fault of the West, not of Muslims. And so he's going to reach out to Muslims and show that the West is not their enemy. Now, of course, he doesn't realize, or maybe he doesn't care, that the conflict between the West and the Islamic world is actually something that comes from the teachings of Islam about jihad and about unbelievers. And so nothing that he does is going to end the jihad. It's only going to make it stronger, because they will see him as weak. And we will be reaping the consequences of that for some time to come.
I don't know what's going on in the White House, or what's going on in Obama's mind, but an easy question: what kind of wisdom that what kind of wisdom led Mr. Obama to protect and defend the strong and the powerful people like Muslims, and he divided the world into worlds. One is the Muslim world, and I don't know what is the other world. Should the people who speak Spanish call the Spanish world? Should the people who speak French should be the French world? I don't know why he did that. And he refused again to defend the minorities, the minorities who is not armed, weak, begging for protection. Why? Why? The people outside the United States, they look at the United States government a great look. Why he took the government, or why he took America from the great look or to this situation? Why?
It's all the same thing again, Nabil. It's the same motion, many different ways. It's taking many different forms, but it's all the same thing. That what the president seems to think, what he assumes, is that the fault of the responsibility, rather, for the conflict between the West and the Islamic world is solely on the side of the West. That it is the responsibility of the United States to reach out to Muslims and to show a benign face. It is not the responsibility of Muslims to do anything to show the West that they don't want to conquer and subjugate us.